Scholarship Forum. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. So today we will talk about the Hansen-Leadership Institute. It is a program, a fully funded program in US, University of San Diego. So we will just check here, the questions and answers in order to guide you how to apply for this program. As you can see, the first one, it says, how do I apply? In order to apply, you need to create an account. That's apply now, like this button, for example. Log in to create an account and begin completing the online application. Your application will not be reviewed by the selection committee until we have received the entire complete applications. That means each section should be 100% complete, accompanied by your transcripts and the recommendation letters or forms you will receive from your professor, a supervisor or your tutor. When will results be announced? The selection committee will begin reviewing international students' application in February, that is 2023, and the result will be announced to the selected applicants in mid of March, 15th of March or beyond. What are evaluative statements? The evaluative statements are two. So as you can see here, these are letters of reference written on the organization's letterhead. If you're working with organization Y, they should indicate the letterhead or the name of the organization with the logo and sort of things like that in that very letter, and to indicate the authenticity of that very form you're issuing or you've been issued to. And also the person who will write this or should write this thing should know you or have to know you very well, and one can evaluate your potential for this program. From an academic advisor or professor, like I said, that person should also evaluate or determine how good you are at English. So take note of that. From an NGO, that's a non-governmental organization or a community organization with whom you have worked with. So take note of that. So these are the things. If you have one of these things, then you're good to go. So later we will come to the age section, which is very crucial. Click on request section button on your applications. This thing, you will only see these things when you already create an account and logged in. So on this dashboard, to submit the names and all email addresses for your referees. They will communicate to your referees, since these people, they're gonna fund your this program. They will provide a service fee, they help you with some other documentation. So they will check all the stuff before giving you such. They have to know your potential and how how befitted you are to this program. So take note of that. The system will send them an email with a link to your application. Your applicants or your referees will receive an automatic email. So if you're filling this form, communicate to your supervisor or your academic advisor or your professor that they will receive some short questionnaire, and you give them how direction and everything will be there. So they will determine you how good you are at English or another stuff. And if they are writing those letters for you, if the letters are not in the language which is English, it's normal to translate it. But if you translate those letters, it should be accompanied by the original paper. If it is in French, it should be accompanied by the original version, and also you submit the translated version as well. So take note of that. You should request this recommendation as soon as you begin the application. So if you start the application right now, then it means you have to communicate to your academic supervisor. He or she will help you with these things. What are the eligibility requirements? Upper division undergraduate with 2 years of college or university or graduate. So in most cases in US they have college, but in, let's say, in Africa or other countries, they have college is a sub of the university. So take note of that. So in US, college is it's just an own institution. So or in a subset of that very university. So take note of that. If you're in a university, then you fall under this category. 2 years with a professional interest in international relations, diplomacy, international economic development or related fields. So if you're studying economic, then that's normal, you can apply, because at the end of the day it's within these circles. Students must be between the ages of 20 to 26, so you shouldn't exceed this age. If you're 20, that's fine. If you're 24, that's fine. 23, 24, but you shouldn't be more than 26. So take note, because this system will evaluate your age eligibility. If you are not eligible, then the system will obviously tell you are not. So take note of that. You must demonstrate a leadership potential outside the classroom. Yeah, leadership, it's not only in class, but outside the class, especially your community or your nation or region. If you have such, then you're eligible, and if you meet the age threshold, then you're good to go too. And have an academic advisor verifying and writing the candidate's English proficiency. Yeah, so, and also take note, if these things are not in English, please, it should be accompanied by English, a translated version of English language. So take note of that. You as an individual is normal to be good at English or fluent at English, because at the end of the day you're going to US, and those people, 95% or 99.9% of the population speaks English. So I hope if your English is okay, that will be helpful. So this section is for students who are in the US. They can also apply. If it doesn't apply to you, then you may just skip it. And it says successful applicants must demonstrate leadership's potential by having worked outside of class in community service, another public service, or in a non-governmental organization, that is NGO. A recommendation form from such a group is required. If you have that, you stand a better chance to be awarded this program. Do I need a visa to submit an application? You don't need, but you need a visa to enter in the United States. So take note of this. You don't need a visa to apply this, but you need a visa if you're successful to enter in the States. So that is very obvious. So take note of that. Here it says, what is the cost of funding? The cost of funding is everything is funded by this institution, though it's not disclosed here, but if you're awarded this thing, they will indicate the package for you. So take note of that. How do I verify my English proficiency? In order to verify your English proficiency, when you submit a name and email address for your academic referee, they will automatically receive that email with instruction to log in and a questionnaire to complete to verify your English proficiency. They will determine that. If they know that you're good at English, it's up to them. So which is very important. So communicate to them, and whatever you're doing with this application, kindly tell them. What are the dates of the applications or the program? The next program start dates are July 1st and 2023, July 1st to 2020 to 22 to 23. I'm sorry. So take note. So it literally is just like a month. Note that if you selected, you will travel to the States prior or earlier than the start date. So take note. If you're selected, let's say on the 30th or 28th of June 2023, it means you have to be there before this stipulated date. So take note. If you're late, you will not be allowed. Homeland Security or border customs and all stuff, they will not allow you unless and until you have a waiver letter from that very institution, that is University of San Diego. So let's go to the apply button here. The apply button will show us how to apply. So this is the announcement. So as you can see, it is currently open. So this is the deadline for international students is January 15, and we still almost have around 56 days or so to go to January, because December is almost on the verge, and November is on the verge and December is coming. So it means you still have time to sort these things out. So take note of that. Yeah. In order to apply, one has to click on this form, and take note, if you're using a restricted internet, in most cases it will warn you like this website is not secure. You don't need to worry yourself. As you can see, I have this issue here because it is showing me this stuff, but you don't need to worry yourself. Just click on this and you proceed to this section. When you click on this thing, it takes you to another level, whereas you have two portions here. You have international and United States application. It's for people who are in the US, and this one is for people who are outside the US. And when we click on more to view more, it shows you another thing which is very important, that is the citizenship requirement. There's nothing like I am a citizen of this country and there is no nationality restriction. Literally, it's unrestricted. So let's click on apply. When we click on apply, it takes us to another level, whereas it's the pre-qualification questions. So here, are you between the ages of 20 to 26? Is obvious. I said it earlier. With at least 2 years of college or university training, or currently a graduate? If yes, you can say yes. If no, say no. But take note, if you say no, obviously you are not eligible. So you can say yes. On July 1st, 2023, will you be 27 years old? Then it means, like I said before, this is 20 to 2026. So if you're more than this, then obviously you are not. You can say no and proceed. Provided that if you are not more than 27 years. If you're more than 27 years, obviously you are not qualified. So I advise you. So if you click on this, then it requests for you to create an account. When you click on create new account, it will open a list of details whereas you need to fill. For instance, if your name is, let's say, scholarship, scholarship forum. If your name is scholarship forum, just write that and your telephone number. If you're from, let's say, Gambia, you can write your phone number, date of birth. Take note, if this date of birth, it doesn't align with that one, obviously you are not qualified. That's automatic. You are not qualified. Even if you apply, you're wasting your time, but they will not select you. They need fresh minds and they need young ones. So take note of that. And the email you're going to use, let it be communicable. Let it be communicable and let it be reachable. Whenever they send you email, you will obviously check that email, because in most cases you have received email, it goes to junk email or spam email and other stuff. So be very vigilant.